Okay, thank you guys so much for getting on here tonight. I am so excited to share with you guys my takeaways and my tips and everything from Arizona. It was truly so crazy. I'm sorry if you guys can hear Coltley in the background screaming. He's getting cleaned up after dinner, so he's not happy. But you guys, I got to mark something off of my bucket list or my dream board for this business, and I did not think it would happen so soon. I did not think I'd be on stage talking as a double diamond. Like that's a huge honor. Most of the people on stage at events are triples and above. So the fact that I was invited to speak on stage and share my story, and you guys, I just feel so honored, so thankful and blessed to have been asked to do that. So I'm just so excited to share with you guys like everything that I took away from the event. But mainly just being asked was like the biggest thing I can tell you guys was my biggest takeaway. I, oh, man, like I don't even know where to start with how I feel about it because it's just been such a whirlwind of the last couple of days. If you guys don't know, I literally slept for like an hour and a half over the last 2 days until this morning. So it was just an insane trip, and I wish we would have went longer, but it's okay. It's so worth it. You guys, the resort that the event was at was insane. It was stunning. I kept saying it's not a 5-star resort. It's a 10-star resort because it was just insane. I've never seen or been to a resort like that in my life. It's like, it was crazy. So they spared no expense for this event. So when we tell you guys to get to these corporate trainings and these corporate events, like get there. It's just insane. Everything is over the top and you just get to have just an incredible experience. So I absolutely loved where it was at. It was so fun. It was so beautiful there. The weather was amazing. We just got to meet so many awesome leaders that I looked up to, and I had leaders coming up to me that were inspired by my story. So that was like the biggest, like, humbling moment ever. But I know Karina was going to get on here and share, but her phone's about to die. So I don't think she's on here right now. But as soon as she hops on, she's going to share, and Chrissy's going to share when she's on here. But I'll just go first with like my biggest, like I took a bunch of notes while we were there. So you guys, Cami started us off with her like opening thing. If you guys watch the live stream or any part of it, will you put a 1 in the chat? I just want to see who actually watched part of this so that I know like how much of you guys know. So if you watched any part of it, please put a 1 in the chat. Okay, there's 1, 2. Okay, there's a couple people. Okay, good. There's a couple of you. You guys can still buy your ticket for it and watch the replay of it and pause it and just watch it as you can. It is 5 hours long, but it's worth every freaking second. Like I felt so overwhelmed with all the information we were getting because it was just so much. Plus, I was a nervous wreck the entire time because I was like the last person to talk. So for like 4.5 hours, I was sitting there like stressing out. So I'm going to go back and rewatch it because I feel like I didn't even get as much out of it as I could have if I wasn't on stage. But anyway, so Cami started off with saying, what are your expectations for this event? What are your expectations for being here right now? And this was like a huge, like, I was like, holy crap, what is my expectation today? And it wasn't until I left that I realized what my expectation was going in, which was to get over some of my own fears, push past my comfort zone even more, and continue to challenge myself. And that's what I did get out of that. Obviously, speaking on stage was way out of my comfort zone, and pushing past that fear of all of that, like that, I totally got that out of it. But she said, if you don't have expectations for yourself or your business, then great. You're not going to hit them because there's none to hit. But if you have expectations, then you are either going to hit those or you'll come up short and grow tremendously to get there. So if you have no expectations at all, then you're just going to stay the same. And so that was like kind of an aha moment in the first 5 minutes when she said that. And I was like, wow, I did not have, I needed to like have expectations going into it. So if you guys don't have expectations for yourself or your business, you need to like reevaluate where you're at and what you're doing and set expectations and goals so that you either hit them or you'll come up a little short, but you will have grown from this far, from here to here, which is way better than the alternative of not growing at all. So make sure you guys are doing that. And this can be with your income, your rank. It could be like your daily goals and your monthly goals. It could be your personal goals in your personal life, like your fitness goals, your health goals, or your relationship goals, or whatever. Like, you guys have to have goals and expectations in order to actually get there. If you just have no expectations, you're just never going to grow. And that's not what we want. We want everyone to be growing together. Okay, and she said, or someone said, you're not stuck, you're growing. And that like hit me hard, because I could easily say I'm stuck right now because I've been a double diamond for a year. And since I started promoting, I've never sat at a rank this long. So I could easily, and I have said this a couple months ago, I said, I'm stuck. Like, why am I not promoting? Why am I not getting anywhere? And it's not that I wasn't stuck. I was just growing. I've had a lot of growth over the last year. I've become a different person. I've become a better leader, and I just had to grow. And that's part of this journey. So if you guys are sitting there feeling stuck, you're not stuck. You need to be growing, and you will get to where you need to go. So every day, if you have expectations for yourself and goals, then you will continue to grow, and you will not stay where you're at. You will always be moving up. So I loved that. Let me see. Oh, they were talking about earn while you learn. And I love this because we always say that this business is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. So you are always constantly learning and growing and becoming a better person, and you're earning money while doing it. And that's incredible. And don't ever think that you guys need to know everything from the get-go. Don't think that just because you don't know what ingredient is in every product, or you don't have things memorized, or you're still asking for help and you've been in a couple months, that's fine. You guys just go, just do it, and you'll learn it as you do it. Don't slow yourself down just because you don't know everything. You don't need to know everything. Just go for it. Just ask for help when you need it. And then apply. You guys actually have to apply what you're learning. So they said this at the event. Someone said, a lot of people are here and you're super inspired right now, and you're going to leave feeling really motivated and fired up. But the truth is some of you are just going to die back off by the end of the week. And that is so true. How many of you get off team call and you're just like, I'm so fired up. I'm about to go home. I'm going to go diamond this week. Like, that's how you feel when you're done on this call. And then tomorrow hits, life happens, something happens in your business or your life, and you just fall back off. You guys have to go and apply these things that you're learning, that you're watching on these trainings, that you're watching on Zooms, you're hearing leaders talk about. You have to apply it to your actual business, to your life every day. And if you don't, you're just going to stay where you're at. You have to keep going and keep applying all of this. And you can't stay fired up just on Monday and Tuesday, because that's when team call is. You have to stay fired up every day. And that's not easy. I'll tell you, it's not easy. I don't wake up every day just ready to go message people and work, but I make myself do it anyway. And that's why I'm here. You have to be working hard for your future, not for right now. And that is just like so freaking true, you guys. When I was first starting, the month I went executive, I worked so freaking hard that month. That was the first month I ever even messaged people, and I was messaging 100 people a day. That was the first month I ever did that, and my paycheck was $152. Okay, so when I saw that, I was like, well, I'm thankful for this $152, but man, I freaking worked hard, and I think I deserve more than that. But you know what? I wasn't working for that month's paycheck. I was working for my paycheck 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. So 2 months later, I went Emerald and my paycheck was over $1,000. So when I saw that 152, if I would have been discouraged and been like, I worked my ass off this month, I deserve more money. If I would have said that and been discouraged and been like, well, I'm not going to work that hard anymore because I'm not getting paid for what I'm working. If I would have said that 2 months later, I would not have gone Emerald. I would have not have earned $1,000 paycheck. So you have to remember, you guys are going to work hard right now, and you might not necessarily get paid for what the work you're putting in right now, but you will later on. Even now as a double, sometimes I see my paycheck and I'm like, I mean, I worked hard, but holy crap, like sometimes I don't feel deserving of all of this money. And you guys will get to that point too, where you're like, I just don't know if I deserve this. What do I do with this? How is this me? And you have to turn that around and be like, remember those days that I worked really hard and I wasn't getting paid for it? I am now. It's all caught back up now. And we are worthy of it. We don't all max out on worthiness, okay? You are worthy of more. We are all so worthy of it. Okay, I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. So then they started talking about like building your own business and being you and your pillars. And we've talked about pillars before. This is in a lot of our trainings, but I do want to touch on it again because there's so many new people. And this is so important for building your own authentic brand. Being you is like so incredibly important. And Maya's at work right now, or she would be on here like going like, yes, because she preaches being herself. And that's why she has been promoting, is because she is 100% herself every day. And she's not pretending to be anyone else. She's not trying to fit another mold. She's not trying to do exactly what I'm doing because that's not her. And that's perfect. For a long time, I thought I needed to be like Jocelyn Yates or Morgan Martin or these other top leaders. Like I was like, well, they're doing this, I need to do this. And then I was like, well, that's not me. So why would I try and do that? So you guys need to figure out like who you are and be that person 110%. You're going to notice a huge shift in your business. So you need to think of 5 pillars if you have not already. So these are 5 things that are you. Like when someone thinks of you, what are they going to say? And you can even make this into an interactive post on your Facebook. If you can't think of any, go to Facebook, make a post and say, what is 1 thing or 2 things you think of when you think of me? And people are going to comment exactly what they think when they think of you. And then there's your pillars. You're going to figure it out just like that. Okay. And I guarantee you mamas out there, people are not going to comment mom. Nobody is going to comment mom. So that is not one of your pillars. Family might be a pillar, you know, like we're all like, we love our family, but like mom is not a pillar. So here's some examples. Like if you're really into, like for instance, a lot of you guys know Cheyenne Knox. She is all about TJ Maxx. Like when people think of TJ Maxx, they think of Cheyenne. That's something about her. She's also really into cheetah. So whenever I see cheetah stuff, I automatically think of her because she has branded herself so well with cheetah and TJ Maxx. Okay, so if you like certain stores, like Stephanie loves Target. Whenever I think of Target, I think of her because she has branded herself so much to Target. You know, coffee, like we all now have coffee as our like product, but Stephanie was huge into coffee before we even got keto coffee. So that's something that's branded to her. You could do fitness if you're really into fitness. Food, for me, like margaritas and tacos are my favorite thing, and that's part of my brand. Like last night after the event, I said, where is the margaritas and tacos? And that's exactly what we went and got. And they laughed because they were like, that's 100% you. Like, why would we expect anything else? Maybe it's traveling. If you travel a lot, maybe it's art. I know there's people on here that are really like artistic and they paint and they do other things like that, or they're really outdoorsy. That's one of my pillars, is I love hiking and exploring and doing that kind of stuff. So you guys have to just figure out like, who are you? Figure out your 5 pillars, and that's not wife, mom, and daughter. Like those are titles that you have, but that's not you. You have to think of the things that are you. I know some people that go through certain things in life, like if you guys know Erin Tweed, she's an ambassador. she has a baby with cleft palate, cleft lip. So that is something that she has really branded herself to, and she grows her network that way so that, I mean, she talks about it all the time. She talks about that journey, and that relates to people. That's like branded to her and her family. And they went through IVF. That's like a big part of her and her brand. So if you guys even have like I don't want to say a health condition, but like if you guys have like something that you are going through that you are willing or already do talk about, that is part of you and your brand, because you're going to connect to a lot of people that also have that going on in their life. So I encourage you guys to think of that. That should be, that right there is your Instagram bio. If you need examples, go to ours and look at it, and it's literally my 5 pillars is my Instagram bio. And the reasoning for this is because this now is going to tie into your posting and your following. This all works in a circle. So if you should be posting about those 5 pillars every day. Those 5 pillars are what goes in your stories every day. That kind of stuff is what you're sharing and talking about every day, because you are growing your network through your 5 pillars. So I am not going to go search a college on Instagram and follow everybody that goes to this college or checks in there, because I'm not a college student, and that makes no sense. I'm not even college student age. Okay, so I am going to go to maybe a park or a daycare or somewhere where there are people that have kids, because I have kids. It's specifically, I'm looking for people that have a 1-year-old or toddlers, because that's where I'm at in my life with him. I also go to different hiking places and stuff like that, because I love to hike and explore, and I like show that when I'm doing that. So I'm going to find those people to follow, because we're going to have connections just like that. It should not be hard to find a connection with these people. So now when you're interacting on your Instagram and Facebook, it should be easy, because you're following people that already have something in common with you. So it's not hard for me to look at someone's picture and be like, I have nothing to say. I have literally nothing to say, because I'm following people I already know I'm going to have something in common with. So all their posts I immediately can interact with, build a better relationship with. They're going to connect to me more. They're either going to be my customer or a distributor. That's just how it works. So you guys really need to focus on branding yourself, figure out who you are, be authentic, and really dig into that as far as your posting, your stories, your interaction, your growing your network, all of that. They also talked about sharing your story every day. And I don't care if you started today, you have a story. We've talked about this before. We all have a story, a journey. Why did you start? There's your story. If you're on day 1, why did you start? If you're on week 2, what have you already learned or done in the first 2 weeks? What have you already accomplished? Have you sold a sample pack? That's amazing. You've already made cash. You've already made cash in your first 2 weeks. That is part of your story. What has that helped you do? Maybe you've made $20 in this business so far. Did that help you pay for gas? Did that take you out to dinner? Those are the things that you guys should be sharing. I don't care like how long you've been in, you have a story, you have a reason why you started this, you have a reason why you're going to keep going, you have a goal that you're trying to hit. All of those are part of your story, and those are all things that you want to share. So share your story every day. This is why I enroll so many distributors, is because I talk about my story every single day. It's on a post in some way, shape, or form. I'm talking about something, a part of my story. It's not always the whole story, but it's definitely a part of my story. Every single day is being shared. And in my stories, 100% my story is being told in there in some way, shape, or form. Even without saying this is my story, you're telling your story. For instance, today I'm at the park in the middle of the day with my son, where other mamas or other people are at work. So that right there is sharing my story, because they're like, well, how is she at the park? Well, why is it a Monday and she's at home? You know what I mean? So I'm always sharing my story in some way, shape, or form. Oh, you're always evolving. You're gonna change. This business will help you grow into a different person or a better version of yourself. And people are gonna watch that growth. You want them to watch your growth. You want them to see you evolve. I don't care if you go live and you're shaking and you're nervous and you're messing up on all the words you're saying. Katie's pointing at herself, but eventually you're going to go live and it's going to be a piece of cake and you're going to just kill it. And people are going to watch that and be like, wow, she really, like, she's got this down now. So people are going to watch you change. They're going to watch you evolve and grow. And I have people all the time that reach out to me and say, man, I've watched you since the beginning when you like sucked, when you were not good at this. And now you're a freaking rock star. Like, I'm so proud of you. I had people messaging me that after I posted I was on stage, they were like, wow, you've come so far. I've had people say that. And they're not even on my team, or even people that were on my team and then left, they messaged me and said, I'm really proud of you. Like, this, it didn't work out for me, but I'm proud of you. You've come so far. And that right there shows I'm doing such a good job at sharing my story every day and evolving, and people see it. They're watching. They definitely see it, and you want them to come on the journey with you. And okay, another thing they said is you should be stating your feelings every day. So this is huge. You connect to people through feelings. You don't connect to people by saying, join my team for $69. It's on a sale. That has no connections or feelings to it. But if you say, you guys, I am so excited. Excited is a feeling. I am so excited. Right now, my team is on this momentum train. We're exploding. We're changing so many lives. I'm so inspired, and I am doing this, and this with this business, and I want to help people do this because I know what it can do for you. It's already helped me do this. I feel so good from the products. I feel excited. I finally feel like you just have to have feelings and put them out there. You all feel some sort of type of way about this, and you need to be sharing that. And the sooner you talk about your own feelings, people are going to have a connection and they're going to want to be a part of it. Way too many people are not sharing your feelings. You are not posting about it. You're not talking about it on your stories, and that's what's holding you back. And if someone would have told me in the beginning, get up and just do it and put your feelings out there, people will join you, I would have done it. So here I am telling you right now, go do it, and people will join you, I swear. Oh, and then they talked about upcycling content. So Stephanie and I both do a really good job at this, where whenever we go on a trip, whenever we go somewhere, whenever we get dressed up for the day, because we're stay-at-home moms and we don't always do anything to ourselves. Whenever we do that, we make sure that we are getting content out of it and using it and planning it for the rest of our week, or however you want to do it. So in Arizona, I was literally only in Arizona for 14 hours. I think I just went through and edited all my pictures. I have like 30 new pictures, good, clean, different pictures to use now for posts and for my story. I was there for 14 hours, you guys. So what did I do? When we had little breaks, or when we were walking here, walking there, I was like, picture here, oh, I want a picture like this. So when you have to take advantage, especially if you're busy or you're a mom and you're not out and about every day, you have to be getting yourself set up to have content to then use for the rest of the week, the rest of the month. I'm going to be sharing these pictures from Arizona for a few more months now, because I'm not going to share every one every day. I'm going to break it up. I still have pictures from conference that I haven't shared yet. I still have pictures from when we were in Florida in September that I haven't even shared yet. So you guys, we do a really good job at this, and you guys need, like, you're building a brand on social media. You are promoting your lifestyle, your products, all of this. You'd have to just take, I don't know how to even say this. You just have to go and do this for yourself. Make yourself do this. Figure out the content that you need to get and have it ready to go. So you never are like, I have nothing to post. I have no more pictures. Well, you know what? We have always figured it out. Even when I was working 50 to 60 hours a week in the operating room, where I have a mask on and a hat on every day, where I can't take cute pictures, I still have always made it a priority to get myself content and have it ready to go. Usually when we go on a trip, Stephanie and I bring like 4 shirts, And we literally like go take 10 pictures, change a shirt, take 10 more pictures, change our shirt, change our hair, and then go take more, because we want this content to last us. So plan ahead and know, even for your week, Stephanie does this. She plans out her whole week of posting and what she's going to post, and she has pictures ready so that in the midst of your busy life, you're not like, oh, I forgot to post today. I had nothing ready. Plan ahead, you guys. You have to plan ahead. Oh, I know some of you guys are on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok, I don't want you to go and take on another platform if you're not already like mastering Facebook and Instagram. Okay. I'm still overwhelmed with it, and I feel like I have my Facebook and Instagram down pretty well. But if you are on TikTok and you have been doing those things, one tip that Jackie Deering gave us was to go and comment boost on everybody that comments on your videos, to go reply to them and say, thank you so much for your comment. Follow me on my Instagram and then put your Instagram name. And then she's funneling all of those people from her TikTok to her Instagram, and that's how she's signing them. So if you are on TikTok, that's a really good tip. If you are like lost on TikTok, I don't want you guys getting on there and wasting 3 hours with scrolling through videos, because you will. 100% you will. And if you are on there, you need to limit yourself and not let yourself get in that rabbit hole, because I have caught myself and I'm like, holy crap, I wasted so much time. So don't do that. You have to be disciplined with your time. Okay. I know Chrissy's on here. I have more to say, but I want to give someone else a chance to talk. Chrissy, do you have stuff you want to share? Wait, hold on. Let me introduce you. You guys. Let me just tell everyone. So Chrissy joined me a year and a half ago, and we met on Instagram. You guys, the night that I followed her on Instagram, I was on a Zoom with Stephanie, and I said, Stephanie, this girl's Instagram looks so good. I'm gonna mute you for a second so I'm not talking. Okay. I was like, this girl's Instagram is so good. She is so gorgeous. I want her on my team. She's gonna be on my team one day. I told Stephanie this, and guess what? She joined my team. So you guys, sometimes you have to just manifest it and go after the people you want, because now she's a diamond on my team and she's amazing. I love her so much. And we have never met until this weekend, you guys. We finally met. She's from Arizona, so she got to go to the event, and her fiance went with her, which was so awesome. So there's your introduction. Now you can share your tips.
Well, thank you for that. I was definitely one of those rare ones that just signed like right away too. I think I saw a post and I was like, I'm in. So this weekend or Sunday was incredible. This was my first event, and holy crap, I got the bug. If you haven't gone to an event, you need to go to an event. You're just surrounded by everybody else that has the same goals and dreams as you, and you know, you just feel, oh my gosh, sorry, we're driving. So you have the same goals, and you're just surrounded by people that are like-minded. So I don't know if I'm going to be repeating what you said, but there was a lot that I took away from this. Let me just go down my notes. So when you're getting to know like your loyal customer or your distributor, there's the form. Did you mention that? No? Okay. So form, it's family, occupation, recreation, and what motivates them. So that gives you 4 things to like talk to this new potential and really get to know them. So if it's for DT, you understand what their life is like, and you know how to approach them with how this business could help. You know, you can already answer some of their questions about their fears. So like if their occupation, like if they're so busy like I am, like, you know what, you've got this. I work, you know, sometimes 50 to 60 hours a week, and I can still work my business. So you're kind of like sprinkle it in throughout your conversation. It's not one just big powwow answer, you know, all the questions. You're making them feel at ease throughout the whole conversation. another one is like you were saying about the feelings. So it's feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt like that until I found this business. Like for an example, that one, when I heard that, I can't remember who said that. My mind was blown.
Jocelyn said that.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap. I think I hit Mike and was like, oh my gosh. Another follow-up is starting the conversation out with, I just found out, ... So like if they've been wanting coffees, like to order the keto coffee and you have samples, you can say, I just found out I got another sample pack. I've been trying this out and I did that. I just found out, and then did some spaces. So then the rest of my conversation, you couldn't like preview it. So if they say, I just found out I got more coffee, something, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like they kind of already know what you said, but if all they can see is I just found out, that's super helpful. Let me see. Oh, the Facebook. Again, I can't remember who said it, but when you're scrolling through Facebook, instead of liking pictures, comment on it instead. I don't know if you touched on that, but I find myself going through and liking a whole bunch of pictures, but that doesn't catch their attention like it would if you commented on it. So they see your name, they're like, oh, this girl's never commented on my stuff. Who the heck is she? And then they go down a rabbit hole on your profile. So that's another.
Christina Watts said that, and she said that she challenged herself, and now she challenges her team to do this. And you're not allowed to like anything. You're only allowed to comment and challenge yourself. How many times you'll catch yourself like, oh wait, you'll catch yourself. So just I challenge you guys to go through, and you're not gonna like anything. You're only gonna comment. If you have nothing to comment on their post, then you probably can't be following them because you have nothing in common and you can't relate to them.
Yeah, if you have to force yourself to like think of what to say, get rid of it. Get rid of them. It's not worth it. It's not worth the time, because you thinking about something to say on this one post, you could have commented on 5. That's one of like my things on how to clear people out, instead of seeing, you know, like if they're following me or following me back, instead of that game, like I just get rid of them that way too. And then the parties. So like the pop-ups and stuff, I think we tend to like overthink it. One of like a good tip was do like a wind down Wednesday. So just invite a bunch of girlfriends over, sip on some collagen or the coffee, and like put the Bachelorette on, or just hang out like with your girl group. Your friends can also host that kind of party, inviting their other friend groups, because I mean, you're not friends with all of your friends' friends. So that's what I got out of it, that I like wrote down. There was so much, but
yeah, I loved that Nina Moore was talking about the parties, and she was like, get it out of your head that you need 500 people to show up to your party. You need 1 to 3 people to show up. Like you need 1 to 3 people to come over and just try your coffee, or come over and just hang out, like she said, and just you can do wine, you can do a spa night,
yeah.
all of these people. So I love it.
Yeah.
Overall, Chrissy, how
Oh, I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, it got really loud.
Oh, we're driving again. What did you say?
What is like your overall, like, what was your expectation going into it, and what did you really get out of it? Like, was it more than what you thought, or how was it?
Yeah, it was definitely more than I thought. I was like a nervous wreck the night before. It's like, I don't know anybody. I literally only know like Leanne and Karina that came in, and that's just through social media. I was freaking out, and I thought I'd be too nervous throughout all of this to really soak it in. But like once you're there, all your insecurities, all your nervousness, like, just drops, and you're able to take everything in. So, you know, going in, I thought it was just going to be, you know, we're sitting there, we're hearing these stories like we do on the Zooms, but when you hear it in person, like, I had the chills during so many stories. I, like, cried on a few. It was intense. So I definitely got a ton more out of this training than I thought I would have.
Yeah, it's way different than watching it on live stream. It is you get so much more just being there in person and seeing these people that you follow on social media that you saw pictures and you see them in person and you just feel like,
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, we went to dinner with Rochelle and her team, and I didn't even know she had like a bunch of girls in Arizona. That's only a few hours away from me, and I thought I was like a little lone wolf over here. So like, now I know people I can like go and hang out with in Phoenix and do like pop-ups and all that with them. So if I didn't go, I wouldn't have known that.
yep. I love events too because I always get like new friends from wherever, whatever team or wherever, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
I think we'll see. No, I'm kidding.
No, come here. Another thing, like, that place was beautiful. That resort was holy crap. So,
you guys should have seen our faces when we walked in, like through the front of the resort, like the lobby. You like walk in. I don't know if you guys saw my story, the video of it, but it's just like overlooking this huge like lake and golf course, and just oh my gosh, it was just so gorgeous. We were like, where are we right now?
I think our like jaws hit the ground and everybody around us was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chrissy, for sharing. It was so nice to meet you.
Yeah. It was nice to meet you too.
I think she's hooked on events now because she was like, so where is the next one near me? Like, I'll drive to Colorado. Where am I going?
Yeah, I was like, I'll go there, I'll go to Nashville, go to Oregon. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just have a couple more things about, they were towards the end, they were talking about sealing the deal. And I think that's something that a lot of us struggle with, especially in the beginning. You think like, I'm talking to so many people, but I'm not sealing the deal. That's probably the number one thing I have people like message me and say, I just can't seal the deal. I can't sign them. Like, I get them there and then they ghost me or they're gone. So I really loved this panel. They had really good tips and stuff. And I really love that they actually started out with talking about how everything you're doing is sealing the deal. It's not just your conversation that seals the deal. It's not a special message that you send. It's not a magic follow-up that you send. It's everything you're doing. It's your posts. It's your stories. It's your consistency. Your consistency seals the deal. If you aren't posting every day, if you take a week off from posting, do you think that when you message them to follow up with them on Friday, but you have nothing on your story and they've not seen or heard from you in weeks, that they're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm ready? But if they're watching your story every day and you're talking about it every day and you're showing them you're posting every day, like, you think that's probably going to seal the deal. They're going to see all of that. And that's you're going to be in their head every day, which is what you want. So I love that they started out with talking about that. And they talked about like doing everything with a purpose. You don't want to just put up a post because you need to post something. You're not just following random people that you have nothing in common with. You're going specifically somewhere to follow people that you're going to have those 5 pillars, something in common with them, so that now when you're messaging people and you're building relationships, it's easy. And it will be way easier to seal the deal with them because you'll connect with them. If it's someone you have nothing in common with and it's hard to even have a conversation, then yeah, it's going to be harder to seal the deal with them. And posting, like, you guys, there are days where I'm like, I have nothing to say. And I will read through other people's posts and I'll try and get some inspiration. And usually I do get inspired by something and then I'm like, oh, here's a good post and I'll figure it out. But if I'm working on that for a while and nothing comes to my head and I'm just like, I'm not feeling it, like we all have days where we're just not feeling it, I'm not going to force myself to write something up and put it up, because it's not going to be from the heart. It's not going to be good. And I don't want people to get that vibe, because they will. I have posted things like that and I've gone back and read it and been like, what was I doing? Like, that was not authentic. That was not me. Those weren't my words. So don't force yourself, but also make sure you are going when you need to go find the inspiration you need to then do it. Don't just say, oh, I don't feel like it, I'm not doing it. Like, go try. But if you're having one of those days, like, it's fine. Just don't do it that way and pick it up the next day.
And if you're consistently feeling like you have nothing to say, first, we all go through days where we feel like we have nothing to say. If it's just one day, like, yeah, that's fine. But if you're consistently feeling like you just don't have anything to say or you don't know how to say it, it comes back to self-development. It honestly comes back to what you're filling your cup up with, because we talk so much about how your cup overflows when you're doing, he said he'll only, okay, sorry, anyways, we talk about how your cup overflows when you're pouring into yourself. Well, that's exactly what it means into your feed, into things like this. You guys, I will listen to a podcast or I'll listen to something and they'll say one line and I'm not taking what they say and repeating it. I'm taking what they say and processing it through my brain, and then it comes out in a big long post of how that made me feel. I literally do the feel, felt, found off of something I just heard. So I know that if I feel like my content's getting dull, it's because I'm not doing self-development or I'm not reading the right thing that's hitting me the right way. So if you feel like you are just dull and you have nothing to say, you need to follow other leaders and you need to make sure you are doing your self-development. Most of mine and Leanne's posts stem off of a quote. And Cheyenne Knox says it, that she follows. She'll go to Pinterest, and Jade Hooper says it too. They'll go to Pinterest or Instagram or whatever, and they'll find a quote, and one quote will spark a whole post. So you have to be pouring into yourself to be able to get that content out.
Yes, definitely. So you guys, this all just works in a circle. Like, if you want to be sealing the deal, you have to be consistent with everything else you're doing. If you're not going to stay consistent and then on a random Friday, you're going to decide to just follow up with everyone, they're going to be like, oh, I didn't even remember you were doing this, because you're not posting about it. You're not showing up for your business. Doesn't seem like you want this. So why would they want it from you? Okay. They're going to go with the person that they see that wants this, because I guarantee you there's probably another person on their social media doing this, but you want them to go to you. So you have to show up every day and stay consistent, and then you'll start sealing the deal. Then they talked about follow-ups, and I love these stats because it's so freaking true. I follow up with somebody until they say no or they block me. But even if someone says no, not right now, like, they're not off my list, because, okay, not right now, not today, but that doesn't mean next month or in 2 months they'll want it. So the statistic that I got out of it was 80% of sales are on 5 or more follow-ups. 80%. So are you only following up 2 or 3 times and then stopping because they didn't reply to you? If you're stopping, that's why you're not sealing the deal. I can't even tell you how many distributors and customers have ignored me for weeks, months, forever. And I'm still following up with people I talked to over a year ago. Okay. They're eventually going to sign. And I've even given them the out. I've said, are you still wanting to get this? Or I'll take you off my discount list if you don't. They don't reply to that, but they read it, means they're still interested, but they might be embarrassed to say that they just don't have the money, or that something else is happening in their life right now that they don't want to talk about, which is fine. But I will be there when they're ready. I will hit them on that one payday that they got a raise, or they got extra money, or something happened, they got their tax return, and now they're ready. Okay, I just had a girl place a huge order, like 150 something BV order, because it was tax return day. And I followed up with her on the right day, okay? So don't stop following up. Keep going. Past 5, past 10. If they say no, that's fine. You can stop. But if they're still just leaving you on red, or they're just like, not right now, maybe next week or maybe next payday, keep going. They will sign up. Follow up with loyal customers that you have that love their products after 3 months and see if they want to become a distributor. Tell them, like, why don't you just start making money and pay for the products themselves? I have had so many people switch and they become the best distributors. Maya was a loyal customer before she was a distributor, and now she is going diamond this month. Okay, so you never know what loyal customer out there that you have that actually might be interested in the business. You just haven't asked them. So especially when I have coupon codes like this, a really good follow-up, you guys, is to go to them and say, hey, I know you've been loving your products. I just wanted to throw it out there in case you're interested in making money with me. I have a couple of discounted spots open, and I would love to give you one first since you've been a customer and already supporting me. And just see what they say. They might absolutely want to, and they've just been too scared to reach out to you. Or you might be planting a seed with them and they might eventually join later on. So go follow up with people. I would be following up with people that already did their 3 months though, just so that they've already used the products, they have results, they love it. What else on follow-ups? Oh, how Chrissy said the I just found out thing. That's a really good tip to start a follow-up like that. They gave us some scripts while we were there, Jocelyn did, and we have pictures of them we can share with you guys. I'll put it in the group chat. And then overcoming objections. This is huge. This is a huge part of sealing the deal that you're probably missing. If someone just says an excuse and you're just saying, okay, and moving on, well, that's where you're missing it. You have to be overcoming everybody's objection, because there is an answer around every problem. Everything someone throws at me, I have a response for. I have an example of, and this is where the I feel, felt, found thing comes into play too, because if you had that same objection, like if your objection was, you're too busy, you're working 2 jobs and going to school when you started this, then when someone else tells you, oh, I'm just too busy, you can say, oh, I totally understand how you feel, but because I felt like that too, but I have found that it's actually not that hard. And Jocelyn, I think it was Jocelyn, had a really good tip where if you have an iPhone, you guys know it has like the screen time report, and it tells you how long you're on your apps, and you can go to it and see how long you're on Instagram and Facebook. And so you can go say, hey, how long do you spend on social media? You can go check your screen time reports and tell me what it says. And if it says an hour a day or 4 hours a day, you can be like, well, perfect. Let's turn that time into income producing time. Doesn't matter if it's an hour or 4 hours, they can make money in that time. So you can turn that around just like that. You guys, the time thing is just, there is an example for everything. That we are people on this team that are college students, that work, that are moms, that we have busy people, and busy people are really good at this business. They just have to be disciplined. So you just have to knock that thing out of the way. The other one was money. So if they don't have money to buy or sign up, you can tell them that you'll reserve their payday. Like, what day's payday? I'll reserve you a spot. That's a really good one, because then you get their payday. And this not only is good just so that you know their next payday, but then you guys know every payday. And this is huge. Someone tells me, oh, I get paid next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. And then I know that they're getting paid every other Friday. So I set my follow-up for that Friday they're getting paid on. I follow up with them. I set the next follow-up for 2 Fridays from then. Because if they don't sign up that Friday when I did follow up, I'm going to follow up on the next payday, and forever and ever and ever on their payday. So when people give me a date, I'm like, thank you, because that is my follow-up now, my schedule with them forever until they tell me no. So payday is really good. And if they're still pushing back, what I have been doing this last week, because we were really pushing sample packs, was I followed up with everyone and just said, hey, how about you just try a sample pack first? And that got a lot of people to say yes and to jump in that have been pushing back on the cost. $15 to $20 is not a lot of money, and they're willing to pay that one time. There's no commitment. So follow up with a sample pack. That might be the thing that gets them in. And once they try it, they're going to love it and they are going to sign up. Or if they really can't afford it and they keep talking about this, then you need to turn it into a potential distributor conversation and see if they would be willing to try the business and go from there. I've even talked to people about pre-selling samples because they get them literally the moment they sign up. They have the online credits. So I actually have a girl right now that's pre-selling hers. So she wants to start so bad, she doesn't have the money. If they really want to start, they will be willing to pre-sell their sample packs. So they just get the money, sell them, like get their info and hold on to it until they have the money to join, and then they'll send them out as soon as they sign up. But of course, if it takes them like 2 weeks to do it, you should probably not let them just hoard those people's money. But anyways, that's a really good tip too. I've been talking to people about, and if they're not willing to do that, if they're like, oh no, I'm not going to do that, then I'm like, well, that's fine. They probably wouldn't be a very good distributor anyway. They're probably not going to jump in and actually start selling sample packs or doing anything if they're not willing to do that to start. So that's fine. Don't let that discourage you. Let me see. Oh, and then the other thing I feel like I'm actually really good at, but I was not in the beginning, was you guys have to always be in control of the conversation, always in control of it. So you are asking questions, you are assuming the sale, you are directing where the conversation is going. So after every response I have, I then have a question afterwards. And it's either like, do you have more questions, or what's your phone number? Let's get you started. Like that, those are my questions. I'm assuming they're signing up the first time I'm talking to them. For a distributor, I literally explain the business. Like I explain what we do, they respond. I explain, and at the end of that, I say, does that interest you? Because I want them to respond. They say yes. I then say, I tell them how we get paid. How do we make money? I say that. And then I say, what would be your goal with this? They respond with whatever their goals are, which is great. You need to know their why. Then I say, that's great. I can definitely help you do that. And then I say, what are your other questions? And then most of the time it's like, how much does it cost to start? Or what do I need to do? And then I tell them how to get started, how it's only $69 right now. I only have a couple spots open. Are you ready right now? So I ended it with another question, and they're either like, yep, or they're like, no, I gotta wait till payday or whatever. So everything I send to somebody has a question afterwards. Everything. When I talk about products, I ask them if that's something they'd be interested in. When I talk about the price, afterwards I say, are you ready to get it ordered now? After I explain the loyal customer program, I say, does that sound okay? Everything has a question after it, so I am always continuing the conversation. They're less likely to leave you on red. You guys have to just be confident, okay? And I know in the beginning it's hard and you're not confident because you just haven't had massive success yet. You haven't sold a bunch of stuff or promoted yet, but you guys have to just be confident in what we have. And if you're not, I need you to borrow mine. Borrow Stephanie's confidence. We are confident in this business. We're confident in our products. There's amazing results. There's amazing success stories. So borrow my confidence and act like I act and just be confident about it. And if you don't know how to answer something, that's fine. You can ask for help and we will help you answer it. But you have to be confident. When you're confident in it, people want it. They trust you and they want it. But if you're really like skeptical yourself and don't know how to say things, they're not going to trust you or want to be a part of this. So that was part of like Cammie's closing statement, was just borrowing her belief and that she believes in all of us, and to not let fear stop you, but let it fuel you. And that was huge. And then there was a moment where I think it was Joel Dunn, when the top income earners went on stage. They were talking, the top 4 income earners were there and they were talking, and Joel had like an awesome speech where he was just talking about fear and having it fuel you, and how if you have fear, it's for a reason, and you're supposed to go after that fear and accomplish it. Like, it's on your heart. God put it on your heart to go do that. And you accomplishing that fear is helping other people. And it like hit me hard when he was saying this, because you guys, I was about ready to go on stage like a little bit after that. And I was sitting in my seat, literally like shaking, like freaking out that I was about to go on stage. And he said that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared right now. But this fear, like, I'm supposed to go and conquer this. And I'm about to help so many other people that are out there right now that are thinking it's too late for them, that think that they haven't promoted, and they're about to hear my story and how long it took me to promote, and they're going to be inspired to keep going. And that's why God put that on my heart, and that's why I was meant to be there that day and share. So when he said that, I was like, wow, this is so crazy, so crazy. And for those of you that don't know, my word of the year is belief, and I was in the belief story segment. How crazy is that? Like, I didn't know that until I got the schedule and it said belief stories, and I'm in there. So how I was meant to be there. Like, that's why my word was belief this year. So you guys, borrow our belief. We believe in all of you. I'm so excited for this team and where we're going, what we're doing. And if you guys can get to these events, seriously do whatever you can possible to get to them. That's why you see me traveling to go to these. And I mean, I love to travel, but I will go anywhere. I don't care if it's in the middle of nowhere. I will get there because they're so incredible. They change your business. They change your belief. They fuel your fire. You hear more stories that are just new stories you've never heard before. You always meet new people, and it's just so good. It fills up your cup when you need it. And like, you'll always see Stephanie and I traveling to these because they're 100% worth it. And the fact that it was only $49 for a ticket is crazy, especially if you guys saw that resort we were at. Like, it was expensive. I don't even want to know what it cost for them to put our event there, but they make it affordable for us so that we can afford to travel and make those arrangements. So take advantage of these, you guys, and get to them. Do whatever you can, because I swear when you go, you won't regret it. You definitely won't regret any of this. So that's pretty much all I had. Oh, the last thing I wanted to mention to you guys was yesterday was insane. Obviously, like, with traveling 2 flights in one day there and back was a lot, but every 2 hours I was on my story. I was posting. I made a post at the airport before I left. My phone died 3 times, but I found a way to show up for my business even in the midst of that craziness of the day. And I worked on the plane in the morning. I made my skinny brew in the airport and put it on my story. I did not skip a day because I was busy. I did not assume that me going to an event meant I was working because I was at the event. No, that's still not working my business for going. That's my personal development of the day, but that's not me working. So I did not skip a day. I actually got up more host to post yesterday than I have the last week. So I did more while traveling and doing all of that. So you guys, make your business a priority, and my story views have doubled in the last 24 hours because I did that. So that's all I wanted to say. Stephanie, do you have anything else?
I'm just going to feed off of what you just said, and it was kind of what I was going to talk about. And I think, like, just how chaotic tonight has been, it just kind of leads into everything. The biggest takeaway that I always, and it's not new to me because I always take this away out of every single event, because I am a mom of 2. Things happen, life happens, shit gets crazy, you guys. Like, you guys all know this. Like, nobody's life is just simple. Everybody has their issues. And I always take away from every event that I go to that, one, somebody else has it worse than you and they're working harder than you. And that's so true. There's so many top leaders that have had it worse than me and they're a top leader. And you guys, just this last week has been the most craziest week that I haven't experienced in a long time. And I've been through some really ups and downs in my business, some really hard things. And most of you guys know my dad had a heart attack on Monday. A week ago today, I was here, me and my husband and my sister are the one that revived him, got him to the hospital, and he lives with me. I now had to take care of him because he's unable to take care of himself. Him and my mom recently got divorced, so it's just like been this whole thing in the last 3 days or the last week. And we came home, got him settled, and then I was at the grocery store getting him food, and we found out my sister-in-law was being taken to the hospital. Like one thing after another. The next day, Thursday, we wake up, my husband is puking like all over. The next day, it's my son's birthday. Saturday, I'm freaking puking all over, like not even just sick, because I always am like, can I just be sick so I can have a day in bed? Like I've told Leanne that so many times. You guys, I was unable to literally stand up. I puked over 20 times that day, like no joke. And then my son comes home with pink eye tonight. Like it's been freaking insane. But I will say this, I have not given my business 100% because I'm physically incapable of giving myself my business 100% because I'm doing with so many other things, but I've still done everything that I need to do. I'm still posting, I'm still messaging. And honestly, when traumatic things like that happen, I think my go-to is I always fall back to messaging, because I can't post sitting in the hospital. I can't post right then and there. I couldn't post about him, and I couldn't post about my business being grand because I wasn't gonna like lie. I'm sitting in a hospital room. So what did I do? I didn't feel, I couldn't physically and emotionally put up a post that day. But so you know what I did? I sent more messages. And that's when we were doing the samples. So I got on Connect and I was messaging people, and I was doing everything I could, and it was hard, you guys. It was so hard. But you know what? I know that next month I'm going to thank myself for what I did this month when it was hard. And you guys, I'm exhausted. I'm tired, and I almost didn't get on the call tonight. Literally, my husband came home and I had to rush to the pharmacy to get my son's medicine. Still hadn't cooked dinner. As most of you guys probably seen, I was making dinner while I was on this. But you know what? I always put my business first, and that is what is going to make you to the next thing. And my excuses this week were legitimate. I could have taken a week off because I've worked my ass off to be able to take a week off. So I could have taken a week off, but I chose not to. I chose to work hard. So yes, you're going to have hard times, and you just have to work through them. And if your day is too hard, like if you are where you want to be, then yeah, take a day off. But I'm not where I want to be. So I'm not going to take a day off. And I hope that none of you guys are ever where you want to be. So anyways, it always comes to me every event. I always see them, and I'm always just like, they have it so much harder. Like most of the top income earners have a hard story. And I know that is why they are in the top 150, is because they've worked through their pain and they've always put their business a priority. So that's just my takeaway. No excuses, get it done, because somebody else will do it for you if you don't. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank
I
you.
remember when I was watching the live feed and everything, there was one person who said she literally lied to her grandma about needing money for her kids' groceries so that she could sign up with this business. And now she's like I don't remember what rank she is, like way up there. And that story right there got me like really emotional and started crying.
Yep. That's why when we say, like, if people have excuses to why they're like can't afford to start the business, and you're trying to overcome that and say, well, you could do this, you could do that, and they're not willing to do that, you need to be okay with that, because the ones that actually want this will find a way to start, and those are the ones that are going to change your business. It takes one person to enter your business and completely change it. So don't get caught up on the people that are not giving this not making this a priority, or not finding a way to start. Spend your time on the ones that do want it. But yeah, that story was good too.
it definitely made me like want to work harder and get to Ruby. Like I know I just started not even 2 weeks ago and I already have 7 customers because I want to promote, I want to go further and everything. And that story right there just made me want to do it even more. Knowing that somebody was pretty much living on the streets and now she's one of the top income people.
Yep, there's lots of stories like that. Our number one income earner literally sold their couch to get the money to start the business, and they were about to file for bankruptcy. So it's just the people that want this are the people that are gonna change their life and your business too. So that's awesome. But yeah, you guys, the events, they have so many stories, and every time I go, I hear new ones from people that just go through the ringer. One of the girls that was on the same panel as me was a drug addict and went to rehab and totally changed her whole life around. That one was the first story, and I almost cried like right away, and I was like, I can't cry, I'm about to talk. So it's insane, the stories and the people that you get to meet and hear everything, and it puts your life into like perspective and realize like, oh, I guess I don't have it that bad, and I shouldn't be complaining right now because so and so is doing more, like Stephanie said. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for getting on. I hope you all have an amazing night.